You know, one thing I did want to mention is I've been getting quite a few friend requests, and you guys know I love y'all. You know, I wouldn't be out here doing all this crap if it weren't for y'all. But to be honest, you kind of tend to, you know, ignore most of them. So please, I don't want anybody to take offense if I don't respond to it, or I ignore it, or just delete it, or whatever. Please, I believe me, I don't mean anything personal by it. You know, it's just a little overwhelming. You know, I don't want to be that one guy that everybody talks about that's got 10,000 friends and doesn't know a single one of them. You know, and to be quite honest with you, most of y'all probably wouldn't get along with me in real life anyway. I tend to be a little bit opinionated, a little bit occasionally, or so I've been told. I've been described as abrasive, contentious, overbearing. I can go on, believe me. But I'm good with abrasive. Y'all cut it out now. No, don't give me that back talk, Hopi. You started that shit. Sorry. You started that crap. Go on now, Ripley. Y'all got plenty over there. You don't need to be bothering big boys. Can you believe it? The mosquitoes are out. Only good thing about having the mosquitoes out now is hopefully they'll die when it gets cold again, which will be in about a week. Oh yeah, somebody was asking me about a cat. We do have one cat. Her name is Hope. She's probably about 5 years old. She was a drop-off at the end of the road here. You know, she was probably 4 or 5 weeks old. So yeah, we brought her in. She doesn't go outside much. She's probably only been outside a handful of times in the 5 or 6 years, 6 or 7 years that we've had her. You know, she just doesn't seem to care to. You know, a lot of times we'll leave the door open in the summertime. You know, it's not like she can't go out. She just chooses not to. Do I have any formal training as far as animals go? No. You know, you know, you learn a lot just by being with them, spending time with them. You know, and you know, you can't just go out and buy a cow and say, okay, now I'm going to learn how to do it. I mean, you got to have some knowledge about going into it, you know, what's involved. You know, I couldn't even get Hamish until I got some of the fences here fixed. You know, because it doesn't take a whole lot of fencing to keep a horse in. You know, a cow's a little bit different. Requires a different type of fence. You know, so there was a lot of that. There's still a lot of that. Speaking of which, I need to fix these fences. Finally got the trees off my fence line the other day, but the wire's still down, so the power is still off. You know, they're going to start testing in here before too long, and I need it to be active when they do. Keep me from having problems in the future. You know, if they want a certain part of grass and, you know, it's over the fence line, you know, I think they can sense the current that's running through it. You know, and a lot of times they'll check it every now and then, you know, to see if it's on. And if it's not, you know, they're going to start leaning into it, trying to get to that grass. Then you're going to have problems. You know, depending on what kind of fence it is, it could be major problems. Which is why I like the high tensile electric wire. Man, I've had trees come down on that thing and it just springs right back up as soon as I get the trees off it. Stuff's amazing. Did you get that field fence? The square field fence? You know, you get anything that falls on that, looks good, granted. But if you get a tree or something that falls on it, man, that stuff is almost impossible to bend back into shape. Where'd all my critters go? Damn, everybody deserted me. Standing out here by myself.